Bonjour.
Bonjour, bonjour.
Bonjour, bonjour, and welcome to the podcast Fiction After Lunch. I am Mindy.
And I'm Sam.
This sounds so angry. Like, I am Sam, remember.
I try to talk with a lower voice because I found myself a bit annoying when I listened to our last podcast.
Really? Actually, I found myself also annoying. And because this is like Fiction After Lunch podcast where we read some original works of fan fiction that we wrote.
After lunch?
Normally do this after lunch, correct? And therefore we wanted to include like what we ate for lunch. So Sam, how are you? What did you eat for lunch?
I'm very full. We ate pizza for lunch. We made it ourselves. We had tomatoes on it and tuna. And onions, and 2 kinds of cheese.
Yeah, mozzarella and like normal cheese, you can say.
Bio cheese.
Bio cheese.
And I also had olives.
Yeah, I don't like olives. I don't know. I was trying to eat tomatoes when I was a child. Like, I didn't like them, and I still don't like them, but I always wanted to try to like them. Because I think like tomatoes are very, very healthy and they're very cheap. You can buy them everywhere. And normally like everyone is eating tomatoes. So yeah, I kind of felt like an outsider, like not liking tomatoes.
I don't know many people who eat tomatoes, to
really?
be honest. Yeah.
So maybe we both live like in different, you can say, shells.
Yeah.
Like the people that are surrounding you are like the tomato haters.
Yeah.
And I only, like my friends group, my family, everyone loves tomatoes. Maybe we should just change our friends. Like, do you want to take my friends? I take your friends.
No.
No.
I want to keep my friends.
Really? I want to get rid of my friends. No, okay. So this aside, so we ate lunch, we ate pizza, and we made ourselves some lemonade, which was really nice. And yeah, so this is what we ate. And we are very full, so a little bit tired, but we try to do our podcast.
One thing I like to mention is that we ate some waffles after the last podcast, and I'm very proud of them, because it just shows peak student culture. Because some of you may know the ingredients of the common waffle, which probably should include milk, butter, sugar, and I think it was one more thing.
Eggs.
Eggs, yes.
Yeah. And I need to admit I had nothing in my fridge. Like, we were doing this at my home, and I had no milk, I had no eggs, I had not really a butter, I had margarine. Yeah.
Margarine, glaube ich.
Margarine.
Yeah.
And yeah, I didn't have anything to make waffles, but we wanted to eat waffles, so I was like using Google Break, and just to figure out like how to do like waffles without any of these kind of ingredients. And fortunately, I had some kind of like apple mousse.
Applesauce.
That you normally use like for a substitute for eggs, so that the waffles stick together and that you don't have something that falls apart. Mm-hmm. And I think for milk they just used water, which was really weird. And what else? Like, yeah, for butter we just used margarine.
Margarine? Yeah.
Margarine.
And instead of sugar we
also didn't have sugar anymore.
So we put chocolate chips in it, but it turned out surprisingly well. We put a lot of strawberry marmalade on it.
Yeah, a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
But I was happy. We had waffles, if you still want to call them waffles, of course.
Actually, I was a little bit disappointed, like...
I wasn't. I was happy.
That's good. That's good to know. Like, I was, like, depressed, like, oh, look at this waffle, it's not a real waffle, but, yeah, this was, like, also a time for my waffle maker to get into action, so my waffle maker was happy, I think. So, what do you think will we do today?
I think today we will read the next chapter. I have no memory of yesterday. Oh, it was the day before yesterday. I have no memory of 2 days.
Okay, I remember there was Lisa.
Yeah, Lisa, our friend.
Yeah, our best friend, Lisa.
Our best friend.
Yeah, and everyone's listener's best friend. And yeah, I remember Mindy and Lisa were watching like a very tragedy movie thingy.
On TV, yes.
On TV, and there was a guy like, this was like the first 2 sentences of my story. Like the guy was really sad and then just shot him in the head. And Mindy and Lisa were laughing, I think. They were like, oh, I don't know, this is very funny and he's dead and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were wondering like where Zim went. Mindy just went to the basement. Oh, the basement.
To the laboratory.
Where with the chemicals that will kill you instantly, I remember. Very important fact from the last episode. And then she found Zim. I think she touched a shoulder, but...
Yes, she touched a shoulder and then she wondered if it was Zim. But then she got pushed aside, and which got her very upset.
Yeah, like Zim never pushed her. Like, when I think about my own life and my boyfriend, for example, he's pushing me every day. Like...
Is he listening to this podcast?
I hope not. I will never show him this podcast. And yeah, like he's pushing me around like all the day, like go out of the way or something. Like it's not so bad as I say, but I feel like I got more pushed than Mindy like from Zim now. And it's like, okay, if this is like your meter where you say like, oh, is this Zim or is this not Zim? Like Zim wouldn't push me. Yeah, I think this is very weird actually. And yeah, so Zim got away and then she went upstairs, I think. And then there was Lisa with waffles, burned waffles.
Yes, which made us think of waffles and then later make waffles.
Yeah, the story makes us do more food, I think.
Yeah.
Like cooking inspirations from the story.
Yes.
And yeah, I think Lisa just said that Zim went home. And I think Mindy was really like emotional and was acting like a hero. Mm-hmm. Like she had this kind of emotional speech like, oh, he helped me. I also need to help him, even if it costs something or so. Like she was very emotional having a speech, and Lisa just sitting on the ground eating burnt waffles like
Sound effects.
Sound effects.
Yeah, I like this speech.
Yeah. And now we want to see like what happens. So I think that Mindy goes to Zim's house now. Mm-hmm. And what do you think will happen?
I think Mindy will save Zim.
From himself? Who knows?
From himself, yes.
Okay, so let's get into the episode. So we have chapter 1, which doesn't have a name. As I see, no.
Did I forget to copy it? Maybe.
I think so. So let's go back to the original name.
Chapter 1. A horrible surprise.
Mindy arrived at Zim's new house. It looked much more normal now. Only the pipes that were on the sides of the house are actually gone, and the front door has been replaced by a plain brown door. Mindy went to the front door and knocked softly. After a few minutes, even really loud. Why didn't Zim open up? Maybe he wasn't home after all. She stopped knocking and began to wonder where he was. She didn't even notice that a girl appeared behind her. That girl was Lucy. What do you think, who is Lucy?
Lucy is a friend of Lisa, because everyone is a friend of Lisa.
Okay, after last episode, I believe you. So, why do you think Lisa appeared also in front of Zim's house? Like
Lucy.
She's then... Lucy. Why does everyone has a L?
I'm asking you.
Okay, maybe I really like names with L. Like in Death Note. Okay, so what do you think is the relationship between Lucy and Zim? Like, why is she also... Or do you think she has a relationship with Mindy and was just following her?
I don't know. Maybe they go to the same school and want to do homework together.
Okay.
I don't actually remember what was in this chapter.
Okay. So, let's stick to it. Let's say that Lucy went to Zim's house and saw Mindy so that they are doing homework together.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens. So first of all, there comes a description of how Lucy looks like. she wears a jet black trench coat over her light blue t-shirt that looked almost exactly like Dip's.
Who is Dip?
Dip is another character of Invader Zim, like, he's the anti-protagonist, or like, he's the protagonist, actually.
Okay.
Like, because Zim is more like an anti-protagonist, like, he's the evil guy. Antagonist.
Yeah.
Like, Zim is the evil guy, you can say, because he wants to conquer the world, and therefore Dip is like the good guy who wants to show the world, like, oh, there's this alien that wants to conquer the world and want to destroy the humans, so I need to stop him. So he's like the good guy.
Okay.
And yeah, Lucy looks almost like Dip, it seems. Like, she had the same t-shirt. So yeah, she also wears black pants, and a comment from Mindy, who wrote the story. Oh wonder. Black boots that almost reached her knee. Lucy had wet, straight hair that goes just above her bottom. There's a symbol on her light blue t-shirt. It's a jagged heart. Is it really jagged heart?
Now that you're asking me, I'm not sure anymore.
Like, I never heard of this word, actually. Like, the heart that I had in imagination was, like, a heart which had, like, sharp edges.
I was imagining, like, a Minecraft heart. Like, so, blocky. A blocky heart.
Blocky heart, okay.
I now prefer the word blocky.
Okay, let's assume that... So we know that Lucy is the best friend of Lisa, and now we also know that she has a t-shirt with a blocky heart on it. Mm-hmm. So maybe she's also a friend of Minecraft. Who knows? Maybe they play together on Minecraft.
Yeah.
This will become a story of girls playing Minecraft together and doing homework. So, nice story. Okay. Mindy, the author of the story, already gives us an explanation of how the heart looked like. Mm-hmm. So yeah, she thought that we also didn't use the word, so very nice of her. So what she's saying is, in plain language, the heart is not round, but pointed. I think everything is a comment here, kind of, like from the author. Okay, so she is explaining to us that the heart is not round, but pointed. Mm-hmm. And she also explains to us that Lucy knows Zim and she wants to visit him. So unfortunately, she doesn't want to visit Mindy, but maybe she wants to do homework with Zim. So who knows? But then she saw Mindy, who Lucy didn't know, so she just watched Mindy knock the door. I think this makes sense. Like, if there's a person in front of the door of your friend and you don't know this person, you normally don't talk to them.
I don't know, I don't talk to people usually.
Okay, like, I don't know, like, I would ask, oh yeah, hello, I don't know, is Zim not home? Or, I don't know, I think I would just start talking, maybe.
I wouldn't start talking to a stranger.
Like, after a while, maybe. If she is, like, standing there in front of the door, like, for 30 minutes, just, like, knocking on the door, then I would say, like, okay, I have enough. I want to get inside, or not.
What would you do? Would you push her aside and start knocking yourself, or...
Let me in, but not this crazy girl next to me. No, I think it also depends, like, on what kind of person is standing there. Like, if it's, like, a small, cute girl like Mindy, like Mini Mindy from the story, then I would say, like, okay, this is okay. But if this would be, like, an old man who looks, like, dangerous and, I don't know, then I would be like, oh, maybe
we'll come to that back later in the story.
What?
I just made a face. Which reminded her of what is coming up.
Yeah, I think my body already knows that I wanted to get rid of these memories. Okay, so I think we should just continue.
Yeah.
So suddenly the door opened, but Mindy didn't see Zim, but Gia. Gia began to sweat. And then another comment from the author. Strange for a robot, but he can also eat and cry. Why not sweat this then? Where he looked at Mindy. I think a comment makes a lot of sense, actually.
Would you like to explain what Gia looks like?
Ah, yeah, also for the people who don't know Invader Zim, Gia is the robot of Zim. Mm-hmm. And actually, the aliens who put Zim to Earth just wanted to get rid of Zim. Mm-hmm. So they gave him a broken robot, which is Gia, and he's, like, very crazy and often also destroys the interrupts the missions of Zim. Mm-hmm. Like, when he had a really good plan to conquer the Earth and to destroy the humans, normally it's Gear who destroys his plan because he's so crazy.
This is also new information for me.
Yeah, you never saw Invader Zim, so no, I need to explain it also to you.
I never watched it, no. I only know this fanfiction and only this fanfiction.
Yeah, I have never showed her anything from Invader Zim, but maybe I think during the flow of this fanfiction, maybe at some point I should show you something.
Maybe after we're done with it, because I don't want to say false hope, but
like you already have an image of these,
yes,
right?
Yes, I want to destroy the image that you put in my head. I want to see the whole picture of your fanfiction before I watch the show. And I think it's more fun when I write maybe a part of it myself before I actually watch it.
Yeah, I think like now we are giving these characters our own idea of what they behave like, only from what we see here. So yeah. So what I said to you until now is like Gear is crazy, has a high voice, and is just like very weird and crazy. Yeah.
Yes. So he's a small robot.
Yeah, he's like a small robot, and his disguise is just like he puts on like a dog costume.
This is also new information for me.
Yeah, so I don't know, like if Gear would like walk around in his robot style, you can say, then people would be like, oh, okay, what is this, alien technology or something? So he needs to have a disguise, which is also like very bad as Zim's. Like Zim's disguise is normally just like to put on some kind of human contact lenses and a wig. But he still has his green skin and everyone is like, oh yeah, it's only a skin disease, so this is okay.
Okay.
And sometimes he also lost his contact lenses during the show. And the people were like, oh yeah, I just got a swollen eye. It's only wet because it's swollen.
Okay.
Yes, there's a lot of stuff happening there, and I really like this show. So I need to show you some stuff in 2 years or something.
Okay. In 2 years.
Then, yeah, there's Gear standing in front of the door, so let's see what he's doing. He was about to close the door again, when Mindy stuck her foot between the door. Mindy asked, concerned, "What's going on, Gear? Let me in." Only now did Mindy notice that Gear had wet eyes. Mindy? "Gear, are you in command mode? Or whatever that means? Well, it doesn't matter. Let me in." Gear?
"You can't. Command from the master."
Oh. So, Mindy? "You will get waffles if you let me in," Mindy said with a wink.
Waffles.
Waffles! New recipe idea. Let's do waffles afterwards. Yay! Waffles. Again. So, Gear?
"I don't need to."
Mindy? "Oh, come on."
"No."
"Maybe?" In the meantime, at Zim in the laboratory. Zim stood in front of his computer with cables in the pack. Another information, the pack is the bag that he is wearing on his back. And the pack itself has like all of the DNA and information about Zim's personality. So if he loses his pack, he will die immediately after 10 minutes. Actually,
immediately after 10. Okay.
Yeah, like
yeah.
I don't know if it's like instantly after 10 minutes or if it's like a continuous process. But actually, regarding Invader Zim, like there were not all episodes out. Like the TV show itself was regarded as very brutal at some point. Because there were like, for example, some episodes where Zim is stealing some organs from other children. And like them show. Where have we been? Zim stood in front of his computer with cables in the pack. The cables analyzed Zim's pack. In the meantime, Zim was talking to the computer. Zim said a little angrily,
"How do you imagine his voice?"
"Ah, I am Zim!"
Okay.
He has a really unique voice.
Okay, then I try to speak uniquely.
Yeah, you need to talk a little bit like you are like the conqueror, like you want to conquer the world, and you're like you feel very proud of yourself, you can say.
Okay. "That can't be true. I drank too much with that stupid villain juice. It's only your fault, computer."
Oh, that was really good. Computer?
"What can I do? If you use Lisa's chemicals in Lisa's cellar, and then you also think that one chemical is something to drink and drink it too."
Zim said even more angrily.
"Grr, but it looked like cola. Anyway, have you already found an antidote?"
Computer?
"No, not yet. You have to get along with it for a while."
Zim?
"But tomorrow is school, and if I'm only a little frightened there, it can end badly."
Computer?
"You can do it."
Okay, maybe we should stop here for a moment. So, what happened? So, Sim tried to analyze his pack, and then he saw that something happened to him that he cannot cure yet, which results from the chemicals that he used in Lisa's cellar.
That he drank in Lisa's cellar because he thought it was cola.
Yeah.
We should get cola.
Okay, next time we will have some cola here.
Yeah.
Afterwards, I don't know if I want to go to supermarket.
Yeah, I don't want to go to the supermarket. We could make some chemicals.
What? Okay, so how did it get from let's go and buy some colas to let's go to make some chemicals that will kill you instantly and make a chemical laboratory out of my kitchen? Sim was about to reply, but then he heard Gear and Mindy arguing upstairs. He got a numb expression on his face. The cables that had analyzed his pack came out of his pack, and the information could be read on the computer screen.
Analysis. Not Sim. No information. Danger.
So maybe you also heard like a short Google, not Google break, but break sound here. Because we decided to make a break and just make ourselves some tea. Because we were so upset that we couldn't make ourselves some cola, that we just decided to make ourselves a tea. So, but apart from this, let's continue with the story. So, what happened until now? We had the word danger. This is not Sim, and there's no information, the computer is saying.
Mm-hmm.
So, what happened during the time with Mindy and Gear? We will see now. During the time with Mindy and Gear upstairs at the door. Gear and Mindy were still arguing about whether Mindy was allowed in or not. Lucy, who was still standing behind Mindy, lost her patience and shouted,
It's enough!
Okay. So Mindy asked, a little confused, Who are you?
I'm Lucy. I'm in your class. But you didn't really get to know me because I always want to be alone. But stop it now. Here, let us in. No.
I really like Lucy's self-introduction here. Like, oh yeah, hello, I'm in your class, but I don't want to interact with any of you. Like, I want to be alone.
Honestly, me.
Yeah, this is Sam. So yeah, hey Lucy. So you're Lisa's best friend.
Yes.
Okay. Lucy. Now every time when I read Lucy, I always want to think of Sam. So Lucy wanted to turn the neck of the little robot because she wouldn't lick a simple no. What?
Google Translator.
What? Okay. For the original English speakers, is this how you really say it? Like, she wanted to turn the neck of the little robot because she wouldn't lick a simple no?
I think it's snap the neck of the little robot, but I don't know what happened with lick.
Yeah, like, because she wouldn't lick a simple no. Like, what's an originally meaning is that she wouldn't accept a simple no.
Yes, she wouldn't accept. I wonder what she wrote in the original.
Google break!
Scrolling break.
Scrolling break.
I like that we have two different melodies for Google and for Scrolling break. Weil sie einen einfach... Ja, weil du es so geschrieben hast, ne?
Ah, yeah. I can't even say the word in German. Akzeptierte. Like the original German word for like what I wanted to write is like accept. It means like akzeptieren. But the word that I wrote in the original German story was like absektierte.
Yeah.
Can you say the word?
Absektierte.
Wow.
And now I think I will always say this word.
No! Yeah, we learn bad grammar and...
But I still wonder how Google translated it to lick.
Taschkani, yeah. Why? Google, why? How do you translate absektierte to lick? Like, this is not at all the German word for this.
No.
No. I don't even know if this word really exists. Akzeptierte.
I don't think so, because the document says it's written.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so Google Translator just thought, oh, maybe from the context there should be lick.
I like it better this way.
Okay, so she wouldn't lick a simple no. Why not? But she read it because Mindy had found the device with which one could set Gear's mood and had set it back to the normal Gear. Ah, this was a weird sentence. Gear ran wildly through the apartment until Mindy and Sim didn't see him anymore.
Read what's written there.
What?
Gear ran wildly through the apartment until Mandy and Lucy didn't see him anymore.
What did I say?
Sim.
No! Do you know, my mind is always occupied with Sim, so I cannot stop thinking about him.
I know, it's okay.
Really?
It's okay.
Thank you. Okay. They were about to go into the house when Lucy stopped and said frantically,
I feel a terrible aura. It's much worse than me. I'm leaving.
What? I really like that she can feel aura and that she's saying that it's much worse than her. Like, what kind of person is Lucy?
I don't even know if you should be able to see your own aura.
I don't think in general that you see it.
Nah.
Can you see aura?
Well, in fanfiction, I did write an soulmate alternative universe fic in which the two persons were able to see auras.
Okay.
And yes.
Okay.
There are different meanings to the color of the aura.
Mm-hmm. So what does red, for example, mean?
I didn't use red.
Okay, what color did you use?
I think I used black, which stands for illness, like when you had an accident.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think sickness is the right word, but something in that area.
Like maybe a depressed person or something?
Yes.
Okay. And then you have like maybe also happy aura or
green
something
zum
like
Beispiel,
this.
green for example, I'm sorry. Green for example is for creativity, if I remember correctly. I also used yellow, I think, which this is happiness, I think. Yeah.
So is it like a standard like fanfiction that you normally like, which is normally written? Because I have also read one fan fiction about like soulmates, and they also had this like color system. I was like, I never heard about it before, and they were just using it like naturally.
Yes, you can look it up. There is a table which says which color means which thing.
So it's really a thing like in fanfiction that you
it's...
can just accept it at some point.
It is a thing in fanfiction, but it's supposed to be also a real thing in real life that some people are able to see auras.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the fanfiction that I read, it was more like there were like more people who had like a soulmate. There were, I think, 7 people, and all of them were soulmates, you can say. And they had like also different kind of colors, but more to regard their personality. Mm-hmm. And like every day or every time when they went to sleep and they were dreaming, then they could see the other auras in their dream. And sometimes when like the people or like the auras inside of their dream went like under a water, then it shows that they're having like this aura, this person has some kind of problem, or that they are like drowning or something. And I saw this like the first time in this fanfiction, and it was like so naturally, like it didn't explain anything, like why is there this kind of dream? And then when they met in real life, they were like, oh, I see your aura, so you're my soulmate. So it was like really randomly for me, like reading it for the first time.
For me, it was a prompt for Soulmate September, which just said, you are able to see your soulmate's aura. So I had to look it up.
Okay, maybe we can, maybe if this is a thing, we can include it like in the later story. Like maybe because Lucy already sees some aura, so maybe Lucy can explain us later her own view of auras. So maybe we will make a thing out of it. Who knows?
Who knows?
Let's continue with the story. So Lucy felt a terrible odor and then she disappeared. Because in the next sentence it's written, and with that, Lucy disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
Mindy thought, what does she suddenly have? Well, it doesn't matter. Back to... Zim! Zim stood in front of her in the doorway. His eyes were no longer the raspberry color he used to have. They were blood red, and they glowed eerily. So, Mindy is asking, Zim, you are fine. I thought, what do you want with... Okay. Okay, I'm laughing because the sentence is, what do you want with the Zim weapon? And I know in the original that it's not written like this.
What was it written?
In the original it's written that, like, what do you want with the pistol, Zim?
Maybe you misspelled it again.
Google break! No, scrolling break.
Scrolling break. And the theme was...
Yeah. What do you want to...
you forgot the comma.
Okay. So, okay, we figured out that Google Translator changed my sentence because I forgot a comma. So, what do you want with the Zim weapon? But I really like the name of Zim weapon. Like, Zim has his own weapon called after Zim. So, it's a Zim weapon. Who knows? Mm-hmm. So, yeah. What does he want to do with this weapon? Zim did not answer, but pointed the gun at Mindy. He glared at Mindy and shot her. End of chapter 2.
Author's note.
So, my second chapter. What do you think? Will Mindy die or stay alive? P.S. By the way, Mindy has not yet hit the bullet. I think I haven't described it in enough detail. I think it's okay if she doesn't describe it in detail. Like, I don't know, if I would read this note at the end of the story, I would be like, okay, I know, Mindy will survive, and... Or how did you find the chapter?
I like this chapter, and I think Mindy will die.
What? Or do you think, like, author Mindy just made this as a joke, you can say? Like, she was saying, oh yeah, the bullet didn't hit Mindy yet. So she just wanted to lead people to the fact that Mindy would not die, but actually Mindy will die. And everyone will be like, whoa, what? Really?
I would find this so funny.
I would find this so good.
Yeah.
I really hope that this is the case for the next episode.
Yes, me too.
So, yeah, what happened until now? So, Mindy arrived at Sim's house and she was having an argument with Gear, who was in command mode all the time.
Command mode.
Command mode. And they were arguing, and then Sim was like, oh yeah, computer, I have this problem, and give me an antidote. Mm-hmm. But the computer was, oh no, I don't have it yet. And he's like, the computer is really nice, like, you can deal with it, like, you can do it. Mm-hmm. And then Sim changed at some point.
Yes.
And he became like evil Sim, you can say. Because he went upstairs and saw Mindy and now he pointed a gun at her and shot her, it seems.
Also, there was Lucy.
Ah, yeah, Lucy. where I thought this would be Sam.
Lucy arrived at the house and then she decided she didn't want to deal with this. Yeah. And left again.
Ah, but true. Like, she went there, wanted to talk with Sim, I think. Mm-hmm. But then she was like... I think she was changing the command. Okay, I need to explain what just happened. Because Sam was just drinking her tea, and actually, last year during Christmas, Sam was giving me a Christmas present, which was a Death Note cup. And this cup had the effect of, like, if you put some hot water inside, like a Shinigami or something else will appear, like, because of the heat change. And right now she was drinking a little bit from the cup, and there's, like, one character of Death Note, and she was like, how can you say? She was touching. She was touching the guy, like, oh, I'm in love with you. Yeah. And this looked very weird because I was trying to explain what happened. I don't know, and she was like, oh, I love you.
No, I wasn't.
What? I saw you, you know. Oh, touchy.
distracted very easily.
Like next time when I have a cat or something, you would only touch the cat, like pet her.
Yes, you have to give me your stuffed animals so I can hold them.
Yeah, I will give you all of my
Plushie, yeah.
plushies. Yeah, all of my plushies. I have a lot of plushies, by the way.
Same.
Same. Yeah, I have an owl, I have a bear, I have a...
what is this even?
It's
a rabbit?
Yeah, that's the English word. I wanted to say usagi, but this is Japanese.
Usagi.
Usagi. And I have another bear, I have one more rabbit, I have a sheep, I have a cat.
Dragons?
I have Digimon. Yeah, but now we got totally distracted, by the way.
I'm sorry.
Just like looking around in my room and just like, oh yeah, what else is in my room? Like, I think also this is like the second time this year that you came visiting my apartment. So.
Yes, we have January right now.
Yeah. So maybe you will see the episode in February, March, who knows?
April, May.
Next year.
Yeah, who knows?
Maybe next year in January we will
have
all episodes and all the stories that we wrote. Okay, so yeah, what are your predictions for next episode?
Like I said, Mindy will die.
Okay, so next episode will be the last episode, I think. So Mindy will die. And yeah, I think Zim will be very sad and just like, oh yeah, damn. And maybe... What?
Because of the foreshadowing in the prologue, maybe he will sit on the floor and hold Mindy, and then...
Oh my god! Oh my god! But you know, in the foreshadowing there was also a child. The Zimdi is missing.
Mindy is 13. Calm down.
Yeah, I think this would be very...
Maybe he also kills Gear. So then it would fit.
Yeah, like Gear's like a small robot, so he could behave like the child of Mindy and Zim. So, oh no!
I just wrote a better ending.
This is okay. The story is already ended now. You don't need to listen to us anymore. Story will end next episode.
We'll come back in a year with season 2.
Yeah, season 2. Mindy awakes again or something.
Yeah.
Another person will die. Lisa. I think everyone will hate me now. No, okay. My prediction for next time: Lisa will come and save Mindy, but she will die during the process.
Which would also be interesting.
Yeah. And Mandy will be the person holding Lisa and just like, no! And then she will kill herself and then Zim will kill himself. And
that's why we probably should E-rate it.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, until now, like, nothing too bad happened. So
yes.
Nothing really happened in this episode, actually.
Yeah, so not in this episode, but in the other one. I'm not even sure how to rate this, because after all, it was written by a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
So I guess 13-year-olds are familiar with this kind of tragedies.
Depends. Yeah, so we will see, like, until which point we should wait something.
Yeah,
put a trigger warning.
Yeah, to be completely honest, I was laughing at you, if you remember, because you were so bloody. And
yeah.
And I looked up my first fanfiction, which I completed, and we won't read on this podcast because I don't want to. And it starts with a meadow and a person watching police cars driving by, and there are rabbits, and there's a deer, and there are butterflies. And then the police cars arrive at a scene, and there are like 6 dead girls.
Okay.
In the mud. And I didn't remember that I wrote something like that.
How old were you when you wrote this fanfiction?
I think I was 16.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit better.
Yeah, that's much more better than 13 or 6 or something like this. So maybe you watched criminal movies? Like,
yes, it was a fanfiction of a criminal movie.
Yeah, this feels like the normal beginning of like some typical thriller or criminal movie.
Yeah.
Where the police find some corpse of something, someone, and then they're like, oh, who did it? And then normally it's like the first person who arrives on the screen.
Spoiler.
What? What? Did I just figure out your story? Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe we should end the episode here.
So, we got our first comment. Comment?
Comment.
Now I can't talk anymore, I'm tired.
So, you did send trailer and the first episode to a friend of yours?
Yeah.
Just to check if it's funny at all, our podcast anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, so here are Mindy and Sam from the future. Woo!
Woo!
And Mindy will tell you the story of her laptop.
Yeah, so maybe...
Tia.
So, Tia, we greet you.
Yeah.
And thank you very much for your question. And yeah, what happened to my laptop? We will also put a picture on Instagram about my laptop, I think, because you can see what happened to it very directly. There was one day when
I like the way you said one day.
Yeah, I need to make it like a fairy tale.
Mm-hmm.
So there was one day when I was at home and I sat down and I wanted to watch some anime. And I already prepared myself some dinner, which was really nice. And I already made myself some tea. And I also wanted to have like a cacao. And I have everything on one table. I connected my laptop to my PC screen, but my laptop is on my table, where I'm also eating and put all of my drinks.
Yeah.
And maybe you can already foreshadow what's happened and predict what's happened. Because I was at my laptop and then I was sitting down and I remembered, oh, I have something in the kitchen. And then what happened? I stood up very fast and I did throw all of my cacao over my laptop.
I think they call it hot chocolate. Cacao is German.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
The hot chocolate. So now you know it was my hot chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really hot, the chocolate.
As it says in the name.
Yeah, and it was really over my laptop, like completely over the full keyboard. And this is very bad. This is really bad if this gets soaked into your laptop because it can destroy all of your electronic and all of this kind of stuff, like your hardware. But I'm really proud of myself. I was really acting really fast. And I immediately took my laptop and took it into the kitchen and, how can you say, disconnected it really fast from all of the other stuff and let the hot chocolate flow out of my laptop. So my full, like my apartment is only one room, so my full room was full of cacao because I was running around with my laptop with hot chocolate.
Yeah.
And I went into the kitchen, got some towels, and put my laptop there, and then I tried to
clean
it. Thank you.
Fill in the blanks.
Fill in the blanks. And yeah, I did this. What happened afterwards was that some keys didn't work anymore on my laptop.
Tell them which keys.
Actually, the most important key, E, didn't work anymore. So what did I do? Like, E is the most used letter in the German language.
Yes.
And my E letter, my key didn't work anymore. So if I tried to press it, nothing happened. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to write some friend of mine, what happened to my keyboard, and I couldn't write with E, and I was just writing really weird words, which didn't have an E, so my friends were like, what the hell happened? So they didn't understood. But yeah, what did I do? I tried to solve this problem with exchanging some other keys that I don't need with E. Mm-hmm. So I got into like my experimental state, or my left hand working state, because I'm really bad in doing practical stuff. So I just removed some keys of my laptop. But in the process of doing this, I destroyed some keys. And there's a holder of the keys under the keyboard. Maybe you don't know, maybe because you never opened your keyboard keys and removed them. But if you remove them, there's normally like one white holder where you can press down the keys. But if you remove this too harsh, it gets broken really easily. And I did this with 4 keys. And no, I did it with more keys actually, because I used some kind of Uhu-Kleber. How's it called?
Glue stick.
Glue stick to repair some of the keys. So, for example, the T, F, and also the Y.
Oh.
I repaired, but all of the other ones were like falling
off
again, or I didn't want to put too much glue on it, otherwise you cannot press the key anymore, so I needed to do like, for myself, microscopic work. And yeah, I managed to do this for the most keys and managed to clean mainly all of them, but still 4 keys are still missing and I cannot repair them, and actually because of Corona it's very hard to get the keys, like substitute keys.
Yeah, laptop parts are very hard to get right now. Yeah. My laptop is also broken and whatever.
We have not the best equipment, you can say.
Yeah.
It doesn't make fun to write on this keyboard, so I'm really hoping that because the regulations are a little bit better now, that some shops are open, and I really hope that I can go to a keyboard shop, because online you cannot get these keys, and I also want to go there with my laptop and try out these keys, because you also need to get the specific ones. Otherwise they don't match on your keyboard. And I don't want to get a full new keyboard on my laptop because it's implemented in my keyboard.
Yeah.
My laptop. So it costs much more, and we are poor students, so we cannot afford this.
Yeah.
But it works. Like my E is now on the V, my V is now on the Q, my Q is now on under escape. Some are missing, and you will see a picture of the keyboard on Instagram.
Yay.
Happy Lucky Podcast.
Yeah, and the cool thing is you could in the Einstellungen, in the
system configurations.
Yeah, system configurations, you could change the letters on your keyboard. Because I think it's important to mention that it doesn't work if you just change the keys. I just wanted to say, in case kids are listening or something. Yeah, 13-year-olds who like blood. So I can imagine. Violence. Little Mindys.
Little Mindys. Oh, I think little Mindy would love this podcast. Yeah. She would write fanfiction about the podcast. And so change your keys, and then if you change your keys on your keyboard, then you also need to change it on in your system configurations, and then everything works well.
Yeah.
But you can also do this kind of stuff if you play video games, so this is quite easy to do. Okay, so Tia, I hope this answered your question, and you're happy to finally hear the answer.
Yeah.
And if you know where I can get keys for my keyboard very cheap, please send me your answers. I would be so glad to hear about it. Okay, so this was everything that we wanted to mention, and I hope that you can enjoy the rest of the episode. Or maybe the episode is already over, so we wish you a good evening, morning.
Whatever. Yeah, I think...
Whatever. I like how you say it. Whatever.
Yeah, I think we should put it at the end of the episode.
Okay. So, talk to you in the next episode. Okay, so this was everything for today's episode, and we will see you next time.
Don't drink chemicals that will kill you instantly.
Woo! Bye-bye! Hello! Here's Editing Mindy. I just wanted to say a big thank you to you, the listener. Sam and I would be very happy to know your opinion of our podcast and to connect to the world a bit. So if you're interested, you can leave us a comment on our Twitter account, which is called Fiction and Lunch, or follow us at our Tumblr account, which is called Fiction After Lunch Podcast, like our pictures on our Instagram account, Fiction After Lunch, or just write us an email to fictionafterlunch@gmail.com. We would be very happy to hear from you. You can also completely ignore all of these and just enjoy another episode of Fiction After Lunch, or just do anything else that makes your day great. This was everything I wanted to mention, so again, a big thank you for listening until now, and until next time, or what Zim would say, let's conquer the world! Bye bye!